Hey, Terry Miller from Cherry Blend Coffee Roasters. We're having this video because it might be time to upgrade your equipment. What do you upgrade to? And what should you stay away from? In this video, we're going to tell you everything you need to know to upgrade your coffee roaster. Hey, Terry from Cherry Blend Coffee Roasters. We're here to tell you what you need to upgrade your coffee equipment. When we decided to start our coffee business, we had a lot of questions we had to answer. One is to decide the equipment we needed, where we needed to do it, and how we needed to do it. So the deciding factor for us was that we're ready to jump into it. We didn't want to do it as a side hustle, as they say. We wanted to make it real. So we basically went right out, ordered our first coffee roaster, and got started right off the bat. Ordered beans, ready to go. So the first thing you need to decide is what kind of a roaster do you really want to be? Do you want to just dabble? Or do you want to become a coffee provider for your network? And that is going to dictate the type of machine that you need. So the first question we can answer is, what's the best type of coffee roaster for beginners? That's going to be based on your expenses, what you can afford, what you're willing to do, how much time you're going to put into it, and how serious you are about your decisions. You can start with a tabletop basic roaster starting around $1,000 that does very little and can do a couple of grams of coffee, and that's pretty much where you're going to start at. Or you can do like we did, start out with an IR5, very expensive, a lot of money and a lot of schooling and a lot of work behind it to get started. Technically, you can roast beans in a popcorn popper, or you can throw them into a pan on top of your stove, or even in your oven. And the problem with those techniques are the fact that you're not going to create consistency, it's not going to be the quality that you want every time, and it's going to be hard to control that situation. There'll be a lot of contaminants and other things that you're going to get involved with using those various devices. And if you really want to become a coffee roaster, you need to dedicate a machine just specifically for what you're going to do. So what's the difference between fluid bed and drum roasters? Our roaster here is a Dietrich IR5, that is a drum roaster. A fluid bed would be more of a vertical tube that blows hot air and actually roasts the beans in that hot air container. It's a different type of style, just as good if that's what you want to get into, that would probably work just as well. The difference here is with our system is we're using, like I said, a Dietrich IR5. It's got natural gas as well as IR plates that control the roast, which makes it very consistent and very even. With a fluid roaster, you're going to get that popcorn effect, and it's just going to blow around, and you need to control the time, temperature, and the heat for it to make it work as well. The best way to decide which one you want is maybe take a good look at each one of them. Go out into the field somewhere where somebody has each one of them set up and listen to them and ask them questions on what's really involved. Looking pretty much online is not going to give you the real answer, because it's whoever's trying to sell you a product is going to tell you what they want to tell you. But actually seeing it in action is going to make a big difference. Like, we have people come in here all the time. I show them our roasters, I show them how we work them and what we do with them. And the difference is with that between a flat and a fluid roaster, they have to go to a fluid roaster and find out how it works and what they do. So how much does a commercial coffee roaster cost? There again, it depends on the type of machine you get, where you're buying it from, and how it's going to be processed and how it's going to be built. I actually could have got two different countries, from Turkey and from China, to produce a coffee roaster for us. And I picked the American-made roaster, which was the Dietrich, which is a fourth generation company. And the expense is a little bit higher, but it's going to be well built. And if I need parts for it, I can get it within 48 hours. So you can probably start out with something as similar as a 1 or 2K roaster. Those are more your tabletop roasters, and they're going to probably be in the range maybe a few $1,000s, and you can go up as big as you want. You're getting to a machine like an IR5 like we have sitting here, you're going to get in the neighborhood of between 35 and 50,000. The actual exhaust pipe you see in the back, they're all custom built exactly for this machine, and they have to be built to certain specs and have to be done right because they're double-walled stainless steel, and those run generally in the neighborhood of about 10 grand a piece, and you have to have one for every one. So your smaller roasters, you're not going to have to deal with as much. And the larger you get, the more you're going to have to deal with, because you're not only going to have your exhaust system set up, but you're going to also have to have other various products they're going to add onto the machine that's going to cost many hundreds of thousands of dollars if you get into it. One thing we found out that you want to always buy the largest one you can afford, for the simple fact that we started out with IR5 and we now have an IR12. And if we had bought the IR12 to begin with, we'd have probably been better off. But however, now we do have 2 roasters, so we have a backup. So there again, just make sure you want to get as big as you think you want to be, and start out with that product, and that way you'll have growth already built into your system. One question is a small roaster as a 1 kilogram roaster big enough to start my business? Absolutely. So what you're going to produce there, if you'd roast a lot during your week and that, you're probably going to get enough to sell to a few of your friends, and maybe a pound here, a pound there. So that's one thing you have to consider. You cannot think that you're going to go into commercial roasting with a 1K or even a 5K is like I said, the bare minimum was where you want to probably start. So you're gonna have to probably come in at the range of around $50,000 for your roaster, and then go up from there if you want to be a commercial roaster. If you're just roasting for your friends and family, you can go with the 1K, maybe 2K, and be perfectly happy and get a few pounds out there a week and make everybody happy. So one thing to remember, that the smaller the batch you're roasting, it's more often you're going to have to roast, but it also is very inconsistent. With the larger roasters, you get more consistency built in because you're roasting in larger volumes. So the larger the machine, the chances are you're going to have better control, and you're going to have better consistency throughout the roast itself. So the question is, how do I pick the right size coffee roaster for my business? There again, look at all the facts, look at all the figures, look at how much money you can spend. Are you willing to spend $3,000 or $300,000? And everything in between. You have to decide that. This is something that's is it going to be a hobby? Is it going to be something as my little sidekick? Is it going to be an actual product where I'm going to create the best coffee beans I can create and sell them not just to my friends, but to people nationwide? We sell coffee in 46 states. There's a reason we can do that. You have to have the products, and you have to have the equipment to do it with. Having a good roaster that I can rely on and is guaranteed it's going to do me a good job every single day is what I need to be able to produce my products when I need them. So what kind of ventilation do I need for a coffee roaster? There again, it all depends on the size of the roaster and what it does. You have today, they're putting out electric roasters that the ventilation is very simple and almost nil. Or you have a roaster as we're using with the Dietrich, you're using a gas energized product that creates a little bit of fumes, a little bit of gas, and it's all taken care of with our exhaust system, so we actually have no problem whatsoever. But by law, we have to have that exhaust system set in place, has to be done right, and it has to be according to your local plans too. So make sure you check with your health department of wherever you're going to be roasting as to whether you can get away with one product or another to create that best ventilation for your system. You don't want fumes going all through your home, your garage, or wherever you're roasting. You want to make sure it's ventilated well and everything's done properly. It's just like having a gas fireplace that you don't control. You got to make sure it's all controlled, taken care of properly, proper ventilation, done right. That's what a roaster is all about. So if you're using a little tabletop, you can probably get away with nothing. If you're getting a larger roaster, then you got to start looking into different ventilation systems and what it takes to get that product done properly. If you're ever curious, come on down to the shop. We're at 10th and Cherry, Northeast in Canton, Ohio. Almost 90% of the people that walk in here say, wow, it really smells good. Come in and take a look around. We'll show you how we roast, what we do, and how we run our ventilation. I have no problems with the health department. I have no problems with the Department of Agriculture. You know what? They love us. They love us because we do the job and we do it right. Make sure you do everything right, and you'll have a lot of friends out there. As you can see, there's a lot of different factors that's going to decide what roasting you're going to do and how you're going to do it. We started with our IR5, went to the IR12, which means infrared. The next roaster we're talking about, if we ever get to that point, would be probably in the neighborhood of about $400,000, and it's probably looking at around the IR25 or even a 35, which is more. So what that means, it's a journey for all of us. Take a lot of time and think about what we talked about today. Make sure you take notes, make sure you check online, make sure you check with everybody you know that's in the roasting business. And if you don't know somebody, go out and find somebody. Stop in here, we'll be happy to share with you. Or if you're wherever you're located, make sure you go to your local roaster and talk to them and find out how they do things and what they do. And don't forget, not everybody's 100% right, so you have to make your own decisions on a lot of different choices you're going to be making in this business. As we all know, what's right for someone else is not always right for you. So if you like this video, go ahead and like it, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, where we have a bunch of other videos helping you to learn whether you want to become a coffee roaster. See you next time.